This technology will change MMO games forever. What is it, a new microtransaction store?
CIG is kind of like Tesla. It's arguable this is a tech company disguised as a game company, at least up
until guys, hey, this is Star Citizen.
Till now. Now they're getting more to the game.
We've seen this before.
That's a different video. Star Citizen is a conglomerate of tech systems that have taken a long time, a lot of money, and some smart individuals to put together.
Whenever they say a lot of money, they're talking about $700 million.
Despite that, it runs awfully a lot of the time. The entire game, with millions of entities, is always running on just a single server.
Ooh.
The most important goal has always been to change this, to split that one server into potentially dozens,
Probably
to
a good
share
idea.
the load across populated locations, and create an environment that can support hundreds in relatively close proximity. But from object container streaming to entity bind culling, a 64-bit environment, to persistent entity streaming, this ultimate goal of Star Citizen to actually become a large-scale MMO is built on a stack of tech, culminating in what's known as server meshing. After 7+ years of various technological efforts slowly building up the tech stack that makes this possible, after needing to put off many other developments to wait for this moment, after constantly hearing that the main thing holding this game back is server meshing, it appears it may actually be happening.
So as you can see on my screen, I no longer have one server connected. I have 3 servers connected to this replication layer. So what you guys see here, this is the very first version of a working server mesh.
Okay.
There are 3 servers. We assigned different zones to those servers. And we said, okay,
here we go.
You can see that
This is
even as
nobody's
as
done
they
this
transition into the other
before.
zone, seamlessly transition to that zone.
Not this seamless.
Not at this
Holy shit. So they don't have to load everything. Now, now I get it. Holy shit.
fidelity, man. What the heck?
And not only that, I can also interact
If it
with
works, it's gonna be-
entities that are on the other side.
What
so
the
if I go
fuck?
on the screen zone, for example, and I shoot this, I can still shoot that purple
What the fuck?
entity.
That's so crazy.
The replication layer tracks every change in any server and replicates that change to the central timeline of information so that any other server can simply
So it just sends the data of the XY coordinate of, like, I guess the thing going from one server to another. And because tech is so fast now, it's completely seamless.
reference that
That's
line
fucking
of data.
insane.
It also allows for any number of servers to crash without wiping out the current position or progress of the player. Another server will just boot back up to take its place and reconnect to the replication layer like the game was there all along.
Over the weekend, Star Citizen conducted one of the most important tech tests ever. Massive scale server meshing. The server meshing test began with 200 players in the Stanton system and was then increased to 400 players and then later 800 players.
Right.
I want to see it.
Did we just server hop? Oh my god, I just server hopped. I'm hitting the button. There you go. Wait, did that go through the server at a slightly different angle? Huh. That is 100% hitting something there.
Holy shit.
It could be a small rotation. Yeah, I think there is a slight small rotation. It like comes out.
I mean, that's pretty fucking good. I mean, there's games that they have fuck ups like this and it's all on the same server.
I think that's the boundary. So I think that's the missile going from... That is insane. Going from one server to another. Alright, so if I go backwards... This ship, the Mercury Star Runner, is such a... Like, good point. There we go. So I can't target the SRV. If you move now, P-Tong? If I go back... Okay, he's rotating. Okay, so he's still moving. That's wild.
Oh my god.
But I can't target him because he's on a different server. There you go. Dude, look at me server hop right now. Holy crap.
What the fuck? Man, can you translate this to WoW? It's like phasing, but it's every player is in their own phase and also in everybody else's phase simultaneously at the same time. I think that's basically how this works. Does that help? It does. So the reason why is that I think this is clearly what their problem is. And I don't know. I haven't seen this whole demo, but like, you can see right here, my camera is blocking it, so I'll just show you. So there's like the purple indicator here, the green indicator, and the red indicator. So each different indicator here is used to create a distinction between different servers. So basically this floor is a server. So whenever one object goes from the green area to the red area, it changes servers technically, but because it's done so quickly through like some seamless transition tool, it's not really like it is happening, but it happens and it's so fast that the user doesn't even realize that it's happening. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, they see it all like it's happening in real time. What's the cost though? Probably extremely high. But, you know, I think costs will probably go down over time. Trans-server communication and syncing. Yeah, like all of the servers are synced with each other all the time simultaneously. And it's all in real time. This is incredible. And that's why, for example, they're moving objects across.
I can also interact with entities that are on the other side.
You see that?
So if I go on the screen zone, for example, and I
they're all synced to a centralized server? Yeah. And like, that's basically what's happening, right? So I guess this would be the central server. And this is the version of it that they're seeing, the users are seeing. But the central server is totally different. So like, you're not even seeing the real server. It's like a mirror. Yeah, exactly. You could say it could be game-changing. I think this is insane. Like, I've said this before, right? Is that I don't like the idea of servers, and I think servers are a technological limitation. And I'm so fucking glad that there's a legitimate developer that somehow managed to get $700 million that agrees with me. This is great. I'm very happy about this. This is amazing. The server's incredibly different and novel tech. Yeah, difficult. This means no server crash. If yours go down, you automatically get transferred to another identical one. I'm sure there's going to be like replacement servers and things like that that happen. But yes, basically, it's cool tech, but there's no way that a company can pay the server side, sadly, at least not now. It's too asynchronous. Are you saying like pay as in terms of like expense? You're saying it's too expensive? You have to understand that like my understanding of programming is that I can read HTML and I can read some C++. I've taken one class in programming that I got a C in, and I also took a couple of advanced classes in like flowchart management that used coding with it. So I don't really know a lot about coding. But what I do know is that things that always look better are not always more expensive on any sort of like load. And I think the best example of that is I think it was Unreal 5.2 or 5.3, where they took wind replication and they could seamlessly add wind replication from any direction to a seemingly infinite number of trees. And not only was it affecting every single tree, but it was also doing it at a rate that was so much cheaper for the entire load of the PC. So I think what's going to end up happening is that it's the same with anything, right? I mean, like, how are we going to say that this is impossible whenever a lot of us grew up playing GameCube and Super Nintendo and Nintendo 64, or regular Nintendo for that matter, or Atari? How can we say that this is impossible whenever we started on 16-bit consoles? Of course this is going to happen. It's not even a question. It's just a matter of when. This is amazing. Imagine whenever they start using AI to make these improvements or at least test them. Yeah, this is going to be crazy. I think people are really underestimating the scale of this. And like how much different games are going to be in like 10 years. I feel like we are on like the cusp. I think DLSS is like it's like a precursor of what's to come. Things are going to get really crazy.